think fundamentally as females, we need to really understand our own unique values. So as women, we become adopters. We become adopters of children, we become adopters of families. We're great assimilators, and I think our own opinions can be lost in the opinions of others. So discovering and defining your own unique values and that set of values is pivotal in your career, whether it be professional or in your personal life as well. Sure, those values will change as you get older, and life is all about evolving and it is a journey. But understanding that foundation and knowing when you will or won't make changes or take action or say yes or no has to be in line with those values. I've seen too many women overcompensate themselves, whether it be their career or in their own personal lives, but not really truly taking the time to understand their own unique set of values. They take on the values learnt at childhood. They take on the values learnt by their peer group. I went to boarding school, so, for me, it was very much about understanding that there are men out there. There was very much an empowered girls' boarding school that I was a part of. So then stepping into the real world, I really had to get clear on what my own unique values were. They weren't just the values of the crowd. So I think when people talk about Gen X and Gen Y, it's the same kind of thing. They're absorbing and being categorised and generalised. And as women, we're so generalised by who we are and how we dress and this, high ceiling. And I think that by understanding our values, we get really clear on ourselves, and then we can start to present a unique identity of ourselves that people are very clear what we will and won't stand for. So we talked earlier about balance and the 5 C's for leadership, and I think it's imperative and really, really important for women to understand and withhold their own sense of courage and have commitment and have conviction and have commitment and have confidence in themselves. We spend thousands of dollars, or maybe just me, but thousands of dollars on, magazines and clothes and makeup and things like that to constantly make us feel good on the outside. And I don't want to come across as being all warm and fuzzy, but it's very important to be able to sit down and recognise what we will and won't stand for. And I think having leadership and entertaining the idea of what it takes to be a great leader, whether or not you're a stay-at-home mum or starting up a small business, or you're a leader, female leader, a CEO of a massive multinational organisation, you can't underplay the importance of stepping into your own unique essence of female leadership and cultivating those different skill sets which are unique to you. So it's about connecting with a group of like-minded people. So often people are disguised. They wear a mask. They wear a mask of friendship. They are your parents. And within that mask, they're representative of trying to be all things to all people in that role that they play. And I think in that role, we place unrealistic expectations on our partners, on our friends. And what we need to do is actually evaluate those relationships and look at exactly how they're serving us, and then look at actually what we need to create in our world to be better served in external relationships. I'll give you an example. When I was recently practicing for a keynote, I was constantly standing in front of my husband asking him to give me a critique. Now, realistically, he's not the best person to give advice in that role. So rather than actually projecting those expectations on people, I turned to my peer group and to my mentors and other speakers, and they gave me the critical feedback that I really needed to take my presentation to the next level. So whilst those relationships and those supportive networks are there, it's fundamental as leaders and women in business that we look externally for our support, that we don't have an expectation that we'll have that support within our family. Sure, it's there, but it's not necessarily going to give us the advice that we really need.